Well, to any and all fans of the Edmonton Oilers, I just have this very succinct message for all of you. Well deserved, too. You did it again, Oilers. You find new ways to fuck up any hopes for the generational talent known as Connor McDavid. Oh boy, you see, here's the thing. I can't stand the Vegas Golden Knights, but Oilers fans have pissed me off to a point where I was actually hoping Vegas would beat them out. Because Oilers fans have been so fucking pissy ever since we swept them last year. They've been making up every excuse in the book. Well, the Avs got all the calls. It was the other way around. We played against the Oilers and the refs that whole series. Yet you morons still didn't win a game. And they took the opportunity. They've been coming at me. It got personal. They've been coming out at me on Twitter, making fun of the Avs at every chance they got. And when we lost to Seattle, they basically said we suck. You lost to expansion team. Blah 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 blah. And yes, the Oilers made it farther, but here's the thing: they still regressed. So did the Avs, but again, here's the thing: we can afford to regress. We have this to fall back on. What do you guys have? Another failed year with a great talent in the form of Connor McDavid. Though if you ask Oilers fans, it's the '80s. Cups are inevitable, and they are the best team in the NHL. No, you don't. And this is why it pisses me off when people take digs at the Maple Leafs. The Leafs are the biggest choke artists in the NHL. Yeah, the Oilers still exist. The Oilers still exist, okay? The Leafs have never ruined generational talents. The Oilers are doing that right now. 8 years. 8 years they've had Connor McDavid, one of the best players in the league. Some people say he's the best player in the league. And all he has to show for it is one conference final appearance, and that was last year. But I guess you can't lose in the conference finals again if you don't even make it there. And some a lot of Oilers fans will learn nothing, and they'll just say, "Well, we got cheated." There's right now they're saying, "Well, the refs cheated us." No, you didn't. No, they didn't. The refs were the only reason why the Oilers beat the Kings, because the refs made sure that idiot team stayed on the power play, because the only time the Oilers did anything right was when they had the man advantage. 5-on-5, they sucked. This team this team is they are the biggest frauds in the NHL. I could go as far as say they're the biggest frauds in sports. I mean, how the hell do you have a generational talent that great? The best 1-2 punch in the NHL and have nothing to show for it. Absolutely nothing. Even Alex Ovechkin, who was regarded as a playoff failure for years, he actually won the big one. And I should be making this about Vegas because they're in the conference final for the fourth year in their 6 year existence. That's just an amazing feat. They've existed for 6 years, and this is the fourth time they're in the final four. I should be making this about Vegas, but I just can't because, again, it's personal with me. How Oilers fans have acted. They've been coming at me. They have. They've been coming at me because they know I'm an Avs fan, and they are still fucked up and bitter and salty and butthurt that we brought out the brooms against them. They make up every excuse in the book, but what they failed to do is accept reality that we were just better than them, and there was no way they were beating us out. And they still stick to that. I've read the social media tweets. They still stick to this fantasy. They do. They make fun of the Leafs, yet they poach players from Toronto. Even as recently as this offseason, they got Jack Campbell from Toronto during this offseason because they had goalie problems, and they still have goalie problems. They ruined him because Jack Campbell was good in Toronto, and of course the year before they got Barry and Hyman from the Leafs, and that helped them, especially Hyman, that helped them make that long run. But remember, the Maple Leafs suck. That's what they say. The Maple Leafs suck, but they're quick to get players from Toronto, aren't they? But, oh boy. But yeah, and just think, this time 2 weeks ago, I was heartbroken over the Avs loss, but again, we got this to fall back on. What the hell did today's Oilers fans have to fall back on? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. McDavid still is without a cup, and that's a no fault of his own, because he does his thing. That's why his name's gonna be put on the Hart Trophy. The whole finalist thing, that's a formality. He's winning that Hart Trophy. It's no fault of Draisaitl either. The man had 13 goals in 12 games. That's a goal per game in the playoffs, yet they still got beaten in the second round. A total backward step. I said for months this team wasn't good. I said this team wasn't good. I said back in February, this team wasn't good. I said when they clinched the spot, this is the same team from last year. Yet I was called crazy by Oilers fans. I was. Oilers fans thought I was full of shit. They thought I didn't know anything about the sport. I know a regressing team when I see one. The Oilers were regressing, but they told me the team was basically better than they were last year. No, they're not. Oilers fans are the most delusional group in the NHL, and for a while I thought it was Vegas fans. Oilers fans have them beat. They're the most delusional fucking group in the NHL. And as usual, as usual, I have to deliver the reality check. And here's the thing, you know who was in that same draft as Connor McDavid? Jack Eichel. We all remember that because Buffalo was looking to win that McDavid sweepstakes. They didn't. Edmonton got him, and they ended up with Jack Eichel. Of course, it can be said that Eichel kind of burned a bridge or two in Buffalo, so he ended up trading to Vegas. And when he landed on Vegas, it was during that down year, the 1 year they missed the playoffs. This is his first full year in Vegas, and he's made the playoffs for the first time in his career, finally, in his 8th year in the league. Yet, in his first postseason, he now has the same amount of Final Four appearances as Connor McDavid does. 1. And it could get worse. He could end up in the Cup final, and he could end up winning the thing. Jack Eichel, who had never been to playoffs until this year, could end up winning the Stanley Cup. That really should piss off Oilers fans, but Oilers fans will just live in their fantasy and expect 1, 2, 3 cups from that decrepit team. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. And here's another reality check. Here's another reality check for you, for Oilers fans. Next year is year 9 for Connor McDavid. You know what Nathan MacKinnon did this 9th season of the league? Yeah. In his 9th season, Nathan MacKinnon won the Cup. Beat McDavid to get there. If McDavid doesn't win, if the Oilers do not win the whole thing this year, it's officially a failed career. They are ruining this kid. The Oilers are ruining him. The Oilers are ruining Draisaitl too. The only way those two are ever going to come close to winning the Cup, they have to get the fuck out of Edmonton. They got to get out. And I said after last year I was kind of gonna tone that down because they made that long run. I actually kind of thought they might do something, may not win the whole thing, but they might do something. But nope, they regressed, and I knew they were gonna regress. But Oilers fans thought I was full of shit. They should have listened to me. This was a warning. So for the second straight year, the Oilers were Canada's last hope to end that drought, and as usual, they snatched defeat for the jaws of victory. That team's not going to win a cup. Like I said, and they keep talking about Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews is going to win a cup in Toronto. He's going to win a cup in Toronto before McDavid ever wins one. Of course, McKinnon's already got his. He's gonna get another one. But Oilers fans, y'all need to face the facts. You're ruining. Your team is ruining McDavid. Your team is ruining Draisaitl. You still have goaltender problems, even though you did away with Mike Smith. You're screwed. You're screwed. Enjoy another year of ruining. You're gonna have to deal with another year of ruining that kid's career because they're not gonna go. They're not gonna go far next year. Because the Avs are gonna. Because in the Western Conference, the Avs are gonna be back. Vegas is back now. The Kings are gonna get better. Seattle's gonna be kind of be like a perennial playoff team, if not an every other year playoff team. They're screwed. You're screwed. Oilers aren't gonna win another cup. McDavid could finish a long career of great numbers with no Stanley Cups. It's gonna be that team's fault. I warned you about this. I did. But lost in all this. Congratulations to Vegas. They're in the Final Four, which is almost complete. It will be completed tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the end of round 2. It's Game 7 in that Central Division between the Dallas Stars and the wild card Seattle Kraken. We could get either the same conference final from the bubble in 2020, Vegas and Dallas, or the two newest teams in the NHL could face each other for the Clarence Campbell Bowl. And if Seattle does win Game 7, that means there's a 75% chance that a team that has never won a cup ever could win it. Because the only cup champion that'll be left is Carolina. That could be very interesting. Even so, with Edmonton being ousted, the cup collection is small. There are 2 cups combined between the 5 teams remaining. Carolina has 1 and Dallas has 1. That's it. This is a hell of a postseason, isn't it? But I'm looking forward to Game 7 and the conference finals, the Final Four being completed. So that's my recap of tonight's Game 6. Again, congratulations to Vegas and to the Oilers fans. I warned you about this. So if you like this video, click the like button. Click subscribe if you want more of my story about the Oilers on Vocal. It will be in the description below. Check it out when you can. I'll be back tomorrow to recap Game 7 and to get you ready for the conference finals. So stay tuned.